If you're over 60 and you find yourself waking up multiple times a night to urinate, if you feel like you never quite empty your bladder, or if you stand there for minutes waiting for the stream to start, please stop and listen carefully. Because this isn't just aging. This is your prostate trying to speak to you, softly but persistently. I'm a prostate specialist, and after treating countless men like William, George, and Martin, I can tell you this with confidence. The problem doesn't come from your age. It comes from tiny habits you've been repeating for years, habits that seem harmless, but over time they quietly build up pressure inside your body. The good news is, once you identify them, you can begin to change them. And when you do, your body gets the chance to recover, to feel relief, to function naturally again. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 everyday habits, ones you may not even notice anymore, but they silently put stress on your prostate and urinary system. And I want to know, where are you watching this video from? Drop the name of your state in the comments so we can see how far this community reaches. If this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more simple, powerful tips for men's health after 60. Habit number 1, holding your urine too long. The first habit, one that many men develop over time, including James, a 73-year-old patient of mine, is holding in urine for too long. At first glance, it seems harmless. You're just trying to finish a few errands, or maybe you don't want to use a public restroom. But when this becomes a daily habit, you're slowly putting pressure on your entire lower urinary tract, especially your prostate. The prostate sits just below your bladder. It wraps around your urethra like a soft sponge around a tube. When the bladder becomes overly full, it expands, not just upward, but downward too. And that downward pressure lands right on the prostate. Imagine someone pressing on that sponge again and again every day. Eventually, that pressure takes a toll. The tissues begin to swell, inflammation sets in, and your prostate slowly becomes more rigid, less flexible. This makes urination more difficult. The stream weakens. You feel like you never fully empty, and nighttime bathroom trips become the norm. James once told me I used to think I was being strong, just waiting a little longer. Now every trip to the bathroom feels like a struggle. And that's the reality for many men. It happens so quietly, there's no pain, no loud symptoms. But inside, your bladder and prostate are constantly adjusting, adapting, straining. Think of it like inflating a balloon a little too much every day. It won't pop, but over time it loses its shape, its strength, its function. The good news is, this is reversible. You don't have to wait until things get worse. Just start listening to your body. When you feel the urge go, don't wait until it's unbearable. This one change can reduce pressure, improve flow, and over time help your prostate relax, heal, and shrink back toward its natural state. If you're still watching now, type the number 1 in the comments to let me know you're with me and you care about your health. Listening to your bladder may seem like a small act, but it's one of the kindest, most effective gifts you can give your prostate. Now let's move to the second habit, one that seems completely unrelated at first glance, but actually creates constant silent pressure from the inside. Habit number 2, ignoring constipation. It might sound odd, but a backed up digestive system can put serious strain on your prostate. Take Robert, 68 years old. He came to me complaining of weak urination and pressure in the lower abdomen, but he also shared that he only had bowel movements 3 times a week. Hard stools, a lot of straining. For most people, that wouldn't seem like a prostate issue, but for your body, everything in that area is connected. When the colon is full of hard, compacted stool, it presses right against the back of the prostate. It's not a sharp pressure, it's slow, steady, and relentless, like a brick resting on a sponge all day long. That stress causes swelling, it limits blood flow, it irritates nearby nerves, and over time it triggers a low-grade inflammation that doesn't just stay in your gut, it spreads to the tissue surrounding your prostate. That's one of the most overlooked causes of benign prostatic hyperplasia, what most men know as an enlarged prostate. But that's not all. When stool stays in the colon too long, it disrupts your gut bacteria, and that throws your whole system off balance. Your immune response, your energy, your prostate health. The modern diet doesn't help. Too many refined carbs, not enough fiber, too much red meat, cheese, processed food, and not enough water. It dries out your stool, slows digestion, and sets you up for a cycle of bloating, straining, and internal pressure. That pressure worsens your symptoms, it makes inflammation worse, and your prostate ends up absorbing the damage. But the good news is this too can change, and it starts in your kitchen. Add cooked vegetables to your meals. Eat soft fruits like prunes and ripe pears. Use oats, ground flax seeds, chia seeds, and drink more water. These small additions help regulate your bowel, soften stool, and gently reduce the pressure pressing against your prostate. Think of it like clearing a crowded hallway. When the path is open, everything flows better. Your gut, your bladder, and your peace of mind. If you're still with me, type the word ready in the comments. Because when you're regular on the inside, you feel lighter in every way. Let's keep going. Because the third habit is one that creeps in quietly, and it's more common in retirement than you might expect. Habit number 3, sitting too long without movement. Thomas, 75 years old, loves to read. Every day he sits for hours in his favorite armchair, sipping tea and getting lost in a novel. It feels peaceful, restful. But what's happening inside his body is a different story. Sitting still for long periods, especially after 60, is one of the most underestimated causes of prostate swelling and discomfort. Your pelvic area, where your bladder, colon, and prostate all live, was built for gentle, continuous motion. Blood flow, muscle movement, lymph drainage. They all work together to keep those tissues nourished and clean. But when you sit too long without moving, circulation slows. Nutrients come in more slowly, and waste removal gets backed up. The result: stagnation, inflammation, swelling right where your prostate lives. The prostate is soft, delicate. It needs movement to stay healthy. Without it, irritation builds up quietly, and over time, that slow, silent pressure leads to enlargement. You might not notice it at first, until you start waking up more often, until your flow weakens, until your comfort starts to fade. But here's the thing. You don't need intense exercise to fix this. You just need small, gentle movement breaks. I call them movement snacks. A few minutes every 30 to 40 minutes. Stand up, walk across the room, stretch your legs, take a few deep breaths. Even simple motions remind your body it's alive, needed, and functioning. Think of your prostate like a sponge. If it's never moved or squeezed, it stiffens. It collects waste. But when you move even just a little, it stays soft, healthy, and well-fed. Thomas was shocked. After just 2 weeks of these small changes, his nighttime trips dropped. He felt lighter, clearer, more energetic. If you've made it this far, type the word stand in the comments to remind yourself it's time to move. Remember, this is not about fitness. It's about keeping your inner systems alive. When you move, you breathe life into the parts of your body you don't even see, but that shape your entire comfort and vitality. Now that you know the 3 habits silently harming your prostate, let's take one final moment to bring it all together. Conclusion. You've made it to the end, and now you clearly understand the 3 everyday habits that often go unnoticed, but silently wear down your prostate health over the years. Holding your urine too long, ignoring constipation, and sitting for hours without movement. They're not dramatic, they don't cause instant pain, but that's exactly why they're dangerous. They sneak in slowly, quietly, and over time they create cycles of discomfort, urgency, and frustration. But here's the truth, it's never too late to take back control. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, like Daniel Michael and Henry Men, who once believed nothing could change. And yet within weeks of adjusting these habits, they were sleeping better, urinating more comfortably, feeling at home in their own bodies again. You don't need to overhaul your entire life. You don't need to suffer through painful routines. Just begin with small awareness. Respect the messages your body is sending. Act gently but consistently. If this video helped you, please hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And share this with a friend. Because sometimes the biggest change starts with a small piece of knowledge. Your health isn't behind you, it's still in your hands. And the best days, they're still ahead of you.